All right, guys. Thanks, Rhyne. We'll just get straight into questions.
First of all, good to see you guys. Allisha, I want to ask you first. I know you've hit on it quite a bit this season, but if you could kind of put into words what this season of being in Atlanta has meant to you.
I'll say refreshing. I feel like this season I was able to see the player that I really am, be myself, and like I said all season, like be more free. So I'll say refreshing, and it was fun too.
Love that. And then for both of you, what are plans for the offseason? Obviously, I know you played AU last year, you were at Skio. What are you guys looking at potentially doing this offseason?
I'm just gonna be working out, looking to take this job down in Florida for player development, and golfing. So taking up golf.
Okay.
Yeah, on the train, we have a restaurant opening up in Villages, Georgia soon, so I'll be dealing with that and golfing, pick up golfing too.
Perfect.
Ryan, this question is for you. Earlier in the season, we talked about superpowers and you just taking that big growth. And I'll be honest, coach has gotten, I guess, irritated with us asking about you all the time for breaking so many records. But I think it's because you grew so much this season. So what words came to you, or what thoughts came to you after the season was over about your growth?
I really didn't think about my own growth personally, but like now, looking back on it, I would say it's definitely a huge step in the right direction as far as what I'm looking to accomplish in the league. And it's only my second year, and I've done what has taken people many years to do in the amount of time that I've been here. So I'm just looking forward to keep growing and keep making an impact on the game.
Allisha, this question's for you. I had asked coach earlier in the season, like, what had you playing at such a high level? And she said it was because you were playing free. And I think there were really no limitations. So I guess my question to you is, how does that feel? Like, what's going through your mind when you're just out there, I guess, hooping?
Nothing. Not too much. I just be out there playing. I'm at my best when I'm able to play without thinking. When I think, that's when I get in my head and start missing shots and like falling asleep and stuff like that. So I think the biggest thing is just me being free, but I really don't even think about nothing when I'm on school.
For Ryan, there was a lot of firsts for you this season. First All-Star appearance, first 40-point game, first playoff appearance, or second All-Star appearance. So could you just talk about what your favorite moment was from the season and why?
I'd probably say the 40-point game, my favorite, just because everybody, like all of my teammates, they knew that I was about to make something happen, and they didn't keep me from doing that. They wanted me to go out and show especially after not being named All-Star originally, they wanted me to go out and show like exactly what they're missing, exactly what I can do. And everybody was just super happy, and I loved being around it. And especially doing it on our home court, because the fans are already into it, but just being able to have a game like that at a time like that when we needed it, especially in the season, was just an overall fun time.
Right, just looking back on it, how meaningful was it to help the Dream make the postseason, just your second year here?
It means a lot, especially, with the history that this team has, and not made it in so long, being able to, be on the forefront of the reason that we made it is just, it's a responsibility, but I'm willing to take it. That's what I signed up for. That's what Tanisha and Dan brought me here to do. And so for me to have done it in only my second year, it shows how much more we can do in the upcoming years.
Ryan, I want to ask as well, like, I know, like you mentioned, you're not really here for the individual stats, you want to win. But like, when you kind of reflect on what the season was for you, what are you most focused on wanting to come back with next year? Because obviously you made a lot of strides this year.
I would say being a threat as a guard. So I've been thinking that in this era of time, the league is a post league. So obviously all of our MVP candidates are posts, everything else is posts, but having that guard presence and having that extra addition to that run would be good for the league.
Thank you.
We'll jump to Zoom. Jamila, go ahead.
Good afternoon. This question is for both of you guys. Just looking back on the season, whether it be at a personal level or at a team level, what are like 2 to 3 highlights that you guys like when you think to this season that you'll remember?
For me on a personal level, being a first time All-Star, team level, making playoffs, getting more wins this season. That's it.
I would say team wise, just, making the most out of whatever faced us. The water wars that I won, if I can say so myself. But just our ability to just have fun in whatever was happening and not, getting too down or getting too high.
And Ryan, I wanted to ask you, in game 1, you had that steal and that fake behind the back pass for the layup. What, where did you get that from? Have you been like working on that? And can fans and the public expect to see more of that kind of playmaking?
Yeah, that's been in my bag for a minute now. I just feel like that's the perfect time to bring it down, especially in a game of that caliber. But fans can definitely expect to see some more of that in the upcoming season.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Big Al, that's one of my favorite nicknames all year. So, what was so special about this team? You've been in the league for a few years now that made this team special. I know it was fun. It looked like you never gave up on each other. What was so special about this team this year?
I'll say the camaraderie. I know at one point in the season we went on like a little losing streak, but we stayed together the whole time. Everybody was positive, and even though losing sucks, I mean, it's still fun to be around a team. So I'll say the camaraderie that we stayed together and boys throughout the whole season.
And Ryan, for you, what did you learn about yourself this year?
How much of a leader that I can be when you don't really have that presence on a team like this. Like last year, we had Erica Willer and Kia Vaughn. This year, we didn't have people who were as vocal as they were. So just having to step into that role, I learned a lot about myself.
Thank you.
Any other questions on the floor?
Yeah, one more question for both of you. Can you guys talk about what you guys saw from the rookies this season, both with LA and Bailey?
They came in willing to learn and willing to listen. Obviously, this is a dream for both of them, and so for them to come in like with the mindset like, okay, I'm just going to take whatever in and use it accordingly was big, especially for us. We're already a young team, and so for them to, especially Haley, she made a lot of adjustments this year. She herself had a lot of ups and downs, but you could tell she stayed confident in her own game.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate the time.